All right, welcome to our channel where we cover all things that you need to know about moving to Colorado Springs. We're both real estate agents, so if you have any real estate needs, feel free to reach out to us. Today we're going to cover
The pros and cons.
of moving to Colorado Springs.
Yep.
We'll have 4 pros for you guys and 4 cons, and we'll get right into it.
So the first pro is that we get all the seasons. So all 4 seasons. Winter, you get winter. Sometimes it's harsh, sometimes it's not. You get spring, get a good, decent summer. In the summer, you do have to watch out for excessive rain. This year, we've had about 3 weeks of pure rain and cloudiness, but everything has been the greenest I've ever seen it. And then you do get some hailstorms in the summer, so be careful with that as well. And then in the fall, it's beautiful. People come to Colorado just to see the color change of the leaves, so that's always awesome. But yeah, you do get all 4 seasons, unlike some other locations. But
Yeah, so we have a lot of people moving from Texas, California, Arizona. Obviously, you don't have 4 seasons there. It's like warm and hot would be your seasons. And so that's a major pro. I know when we were moving here, we moved from Arizona and we were looking for, snow in the winter and 4 seasons. Our next pro is that the views and nature, just the scenery in general, is beautiful. So wherever you go, you're probably going to have a view of the mountains unless it's cloudy. There's a lot of outdoor stuff to do. We have a lot of trails, a lot of scenery, and just nature.
there's a lot of hiking trails, biking trails. If you like doing 14ers for you crazy folks, we got plenty of those. And the views are,
Marathons.
you can't beat the views here. They're screensaver type views. So
The next pro that we have is that we have a ton of breweries and it's a beer lover's paradise. We're not really beer drinking people, so it's really wasted on us, but we have a ton of breweries with outdoor patios. Some of them you can even bring your pets, and just where we're at, it's a big thing.
yeah.
And
A lot of these breweries don't have licenses for food, so they'll bring in different food trucks. So you'll get a variety of food every week. They'll bring in different food trucks, and a lot of them partner up with different restaurants in that area, so you'll get a lot of discounted food as well. So if you're a foodie and a beer guy or gal, it's perfect for you.
And then our last pro, obviously there's more, but we're going to keep it short and sweet for you guys, is that we have a great education system. So we have 3 of the top-rated districts in Colorado. The first is Lewis Palmer, which is District 38, and then Cheyenne Mountain, which is District 12, and then District 20, which is the Academy School District. So a lot of people move to the area for those school districts in particular. They have a lot of advanced programs for kids. So if that's something that's important to you, that is a great reason to move to the area.
And now for the cons. The biggest con in our eyes is the affordability. So in the last 5 to 6 years, prices for homes have just skyrocketed. The average now is about $400,000, and that'll get you a decent sized home for a family of 4 or 5. But depending on the area and the part of town that you're trying to stay in, just shop around and see what you can buy for whatever you're approved for.
Yeah, and then we mentioned the school districts 38, 12, and 20. And for those areas, of course, they're more desirable. So a starter home, 3-bedroom, 2-bath is going to be closer to $500,000 or $600,000, and then in the newer areas where they're doing new construction, it'll be closer to $700,000. So you can definitely find a house for in the 400s, but it's not going to be, the most updated. It'll be a starter home, and you'll have to do some work on it.
The second con is we're very prone for natural disasters. We've had big fires, the Waldo Canyon fire and the Black Forest fire. So depending on how close you are to those areas, your insurance might go up. If you can even get insured, some homes aren't insurable in Black Forest per se, just because of the high risk of fires. I mentioned earlier, we get a lot of hailstorms. There's usually about the southern part of Colorado Springs that gets the most hail. So you'll get higher insurance rates there just because of the amount of hail that you get. And it's pretty damaging hail. It'll total vehicles and damage your siding, homes. I also mentioned the rain earlier, so with the rain comes a lot of greenery, but you get a lot of cloud and kind of muggy weather. And then you get really big snowstorms once in a while. The last one was about 6 years ago, and they called it a bomb cyclone, and it shut down the entire city. We got like 2 or 3 feet of snow. Cars couldn't drive. The police department were actually going out in Humvees trying to rescue people. So,
And then with the rain also, we don't typically get a ton of rain, so if we get an excessive amount, basements can flood, the roads will flood, and it can get a little bit more dangerous. We don't have tornadoes or hurricanes or anything like that, but the hail, the rain, and then sometimes fires and the bomb snow cyclones are not as fun, but not super dangerous, but still like a nuisance for sure.
Yep. And the third con is the altitude and the climate, and then just how dry it is. We're just a high desert here, so you get a lot of dry skin. I buy chapstick year round just because my lips stay dry. If you have skin conditions like eczema, that'll get irritated if you don't stay on top of it. And then the altitude, once you get to certain feet, then you will get altitude sickness. So some people will need, extra oxygen. If you're not the healthiest person, I probably wouldn't recommend going up to Pikes Peak, just because you will get pretty sick.
The last and fourth con that we have is that we are a growing city. So there's more people moving to Colorado Springs every year. And with that comes more construction, more housing is needed, more retail, more corporate space. So you're going to be stuck in traffic. You're going to have to reroute and detour.
So there's construction all over the city. The northeast part of the city is experiencing the most growth just because that's where the open space is. So there is a lot of construction in that part of town. But like I said, you're going to see construction everywhere just because of the roads. I guess that would be a fifth, 4.5 con. We have a lot of potholes and crappy roads because of the snow and the adverse weather. So there's going to be construction everywhere, but the north end of the city definitely has the most. 3-lane roads go down to 1-lane roads go down to the opposite lane, so they're stopping north and south traffic for the opposite traffic coming. There's a lot of apartments and large housing facilities going up.
Developments.
So yeah, there is a lot of construction, a lot of delays, so plan accordingly.
Yep. That'll be it for today for our pros and cons list. Obviously there are more, but if you have any specific questions, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to be a resource for you.